Making it.
We're here.
We're back. 1 minute late, but that's what we do. What's going on, everybody? How we doing tonight? Mr. G.O.D. Free, how are we, sirs?
All right, listen, we may be 1 minute late, but we always give overtime, so it evens out in the world. We're averaging.
Yeah, we definitely do.
Averaging at least 75 minutes a week. Come on,
we do give out overtime all day.
So yeah. So yeah, I've been all right. I've been, we went to me and Chris were at a barbecue this weekend. It was pretty fun. Our gracious host, but I'm suffering from it. Not to the host's fault, but I was sitting there. We were talking with our other warehouse guy, me, and two other. We're cracking, and Roxanne, and it gets dark, and the mosquitoes start coming in. Bang, bang, bang. And
nighttime, bro. When I walked out, I'm not lying to you. True story. I walked out, and by the time I got from the driveway, we got lag. Well, I feel like we got lag.
That's probably because it's playing in the background.
Who got that playing in the background? I got to play in the background?
Probably the YouTube's probably up.
How about now?
Nope. Gone.
Oh, man, look at me messing up over here. I didn't even realize that. I clicked the link earlier. But no, I walked out the driveway, dude. By the time I got from the driveway to my truck, I got popped 4 times. 4 times, man.
I've been on a sandal kick this year. I'm like, if it's
top of the feet,
they got the top of my feet. They got my calves. They got my legs, dude. I've been like,
you got calves too. They were sucking on them things.
Yo, boy, they went to feet. I went to play. I played softball last night, and I put on shorts, and they were asking me what's wrong with me because I had like spots of calamine lotion on my leg, like pink spots. I'm like, yo, I got tore up by the mosquitoes, but I don't know what it is. They just seem stronger this year, man. And like, McCracken came out there with his bottle. It looked like a Molotov cocktail, and the flame was nothing. I was like, oh man, we're cooked. And I just and when they get your legs and your feet, it's the worst because when you're trying to sleep the next night, it's you move and it just activates the itching.
I'm lucky. It irritates me that night only, and then usually the following day I'm good. But like, dude, I'm telling you, I can't walk outside my house to let my dogs out after like 7 o'clock at night unless I'm wearing like longer. Be wearing pants like this during the day or during the nighttime because I can't walk outside, dog. I get lit up.
Listen, I am going to. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna have like a tiki torch next time I go over. I'm just gonna walk around with it, like just throw it in the air or something.
The only thing, listen, if you want mosquitoes to stay away from you, plant a bunch of citronella on your porch or wherever you sit at. That helps a lot. If not, you gotta go to DEET, bro. You know me, I'm anti everything bad for your body, putting shit on your skin. But if you want to not get popped by the mosquitoes,
no, I don't even care. I was saying that to my buddy. I was like, yo, screw the environment, man. If I could just kill all these mosquitoes, spray everything everywhere. Everybody dies.
Well, yo, the biggest problem with it is this, dude. Like, you got people, if you have neighbors that have standing water and like pots and shit that they don't use, dude, that's like a breeding ground for them things.
I got a text from my neighbor one time about that. I had like one of those old little fire pits that you put in the backyard, and it was
that thing,
he's like, can you flip that for me? I'm like, all right, no problem, because it's Mosquito City. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get like a 20-foot pole, and I'm getting a bat house because they eat mosquitoes.
So bat houses are tough. My old man tried to do one. He had success a few years and then didn't have any for a few years afterwards. I don't know what this year's update is. They're tough to do. The biggest problem is you got to put them way up. But
and you got to be near a water source too. You got to be near water.
A bat bangs out like 1,000 mosquitoes a night or some ridiculous number like that, bro. One bat. You know what I mean?
They got to have a water source. The water source is key. If you don't have a water source near there, they're not going to stay.
Yeah, but what I do is I buy a little pack, 24 pack of the dunks, the mosquito dunks. So it's like this little like compressed like a bunch of granules and stuff. They're in a donut. And you basically drop this in standing water. So like when I'm doing my lawn, I look over my neighbor's properties. I'm like, yup, y'all are being deadbeats. And just drop one of them things right in there. Dude, I'm telling you, I got so many mosquitoes around my house. It's insane. I'm done with this mosquito rant, but
yeah.
Jamie, you don't know what a bat house is, man?
Yeah. He fixes like the bat signal and just shoots up in the air.
You got to put a pole up like 15, 20 feet above the highest point, like your garage or wherever you could put one out or whatever. And literally they'll like 50 bats will go in a house a foot by a foot by a foot. It's wild how many of them jam themselves in there. But then they come out at night, man.
You never know. I got a lot of high fructose corn syrup in his body. So
yo, shout out to John Weber, yo. Guano. Yes, dude.
Guano fruit paste.
I'm telling you, Ace Ventura 2, and I'm not saying that it is, but it's one of those movies you could argue is just as funny as the first one, if not funnier. The only sequel that I feel like is better than the first one that I know of that I can speak of really fast off the top of my mind is Terminator 2. Terminator 2 is 100% better than Terminator 1. If Aaron's in here, he's probably gonna be mad at me because I think he likes Terminator 1 better. But
Dumb and Dumber 2 is not better than Dumb and Dumber 1. That's for sure.
Hell no. I mean, there's next to no movie that is. Ace Ventura is really damn close, bro. Like when he's driving down the road going like this, and the road's like perfectly smooth. I'm like, yo, like I can't take it, dude.
I do not have diabetes or herpes. Thank you, though. The bat would not be infected.
Oh, Jesus, Godfrey. They're coming at your neck early tonight, bro.
I know.
All right, well, listen. We're good. Everybody's good over here on the Funkin' Homie side.
I'm drinking coconut.
Yeah. What you got? Godfrey, can you stop? Can somebody Google that and see how bad it is for him? This is what you need, bro.
180 calories.
This is what you need, okay?
That
Lemon, water, cucumber, and mint. That's what you need.
If you're boring, just say you're boring.
There's nothing boring about this, bro. I'm a sophisticated gentleman. You kidding me?
I didn't say anything about that. I'm just saying, coconut milk. Coconut milk beverage.
It's not good for you.
180 calories. I'm all right.
You might as well drink a soda. How many grams of sugar in it?
17 per 35.
35. How many added?
That is the added.
How many?
35.
35 grams of added sugar.
So total is 35 grams
in the whole bottle.
Yeah, but there's
what's the serving size?
I'm doing the 2 servings. There's 2
See,
servings.
That's the bullshit about this country. I don't understand why we do that.
Well, it's not times 35. It's times 17 point whatever. So it's 35 total.
Drinking, dog. You might as well have 2 vodka and cokes or rum and cokes or whatever.
Well, now that you talk about it,
I'm just saying. I mean, you gonna bang out sugar like that? You might. I mean, that's a lot of sugar, dog. That's all I'm saying.
I just eat sugar.
No, do not eat sugar, people. I'm trying to get everybody off of sugar. I'm on it still too, but eat less of it, please. I care about y'all.
Well, on that note, we have a guest
who's doing a lot of sweet shit right now. Speaking of sugar,
sweet shit. Yeah. So, oh yeah, wild things in the comments. We'll get to that, and then the guest injury right after that. So maybe not wild things in comments, but you know what? I learned today that
this is my guy. That's what I learned.
Yeah,
I mean, literally, I don't think I can like John Weber anymore. He's always got the hottest comments.
Right.
He's full supporter of the crazy shit that I say all the time.
Little bias there. Yeah. So so I learned that if you get on the phone with someone and they're a quilt maker, and it might not be a short conversation because they don't know where the odor's coming from, and therefore I never want to talk to another quilt maker again. 30 minutes, I'll never get back in my life. The lady was like, yeah, the odor's coming from my room. It's now in my air conditioner in my car. I'm like, so it traveled with you? And now it's in my garage. I was like, you know what? I think I told her to sell her house. And
I wanted to get me to make a quilt. I got like 35 old Marvel t-shirts and shit from back in the day when I used to rock them all the time. I want to turn into a quilt.
She might have cooked her quilt with the ozone machine because she used the ozone machine. And then, yep. 30 minutes of ozone has been driving her crazy for 6 months. I'm like, ma'am, we need to relax. Anyway, wild things in the comments. People, Fresh AF bar out there, I wanted to bring that up too. The Fresh AF bar, good bar. Everybody loves the Fresh AF bar.
Hold on, we're doing a PSA I don't know about right now.
Not really.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
It's our most popular scent, but it's not the most intense scent, right? So
it's a subtle scent.
It's a subtle scent. If you want an intense scent, you want something that's like got a heat pop in your face. Which one would you tell them to get, Christian?
Would I tell them to get?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I'm gonna go with New Car Nectar, but either you love or you hate it. I mean, again, but if you want something strong, you can do like a squash. You could do bevy grapes.
Vitamin C.
Bevy grapes hitting. Juicy melons hits really well
Pop
for
and
like
cherry
that.
strong.
Pop and cherry strong. Vitamin C is very strong. Iced
Iced
out
out is
strong.
strong.
Yeah, dope soap and fresh AF are kind of our two mild scents, and lament. You know what I mean? All three of those are kind of, they're like the mild blends.
So, on that note, we have someone coming in.
That was a bad transition. I think the Swedish sugar thing, doing a bunch of sweet sugar.
No, because this dude wants to tell us about how iced out. You guys are going to hear eventually how iced out filled a whole airplane hangar. 1 bar of iced out. 1 bar.
Oh, man.
True story. And we have someone here to tell us about
it. And it led to an amazing opportunity. So,
which we'll be talking about today as well. So,
absolutely. With no further ado, our boy, and now yours, Eric from Flex Wash. What's up, dog?
What's up, guys?
What's going on, brother? How are you, man?
Up?
Nothing much. Another day in paradise.
Working hard, not hardly working, because I know you. So
I'm always staying busy, guys. I'm always staying busy. But I can't believe you guys put iced out all the way at the end.
Well,
what?
I mean,
it was a chronological.
That was the last one that was mentioned, guys.
Is it our number 2 seller or number 3 seller?
It's float. It's float between 2 and 3. Squash is just coming from people's necks.
No, yeah. Man, iced out stunk up that whole hangar.
Have you done
everybody asking questions?
So, I mean, we're gonna jump right in. So you're telling me someone like you were in it. I just want to paint the picture for the audience here, especially for those folks that aren't watching me in a video.
When God repaints pictures, it's such a beautiful thing.
We're in an airplane hangar. You're doing a detail. You're working on a helicopter or plane at this point.
Oh, it was a helicopter.
Helicopter, which is cool too. And you break open the ice out. And then you're telling me that this thing filled the whole hangar. People were like, "What? Take it from there."
Well, I mean, I popped it, put it in there, kept the doors open because it had like an odor of a dog smell. So I left the doors open for a little bit, wanted to grab a bite to eat. And just the people just started walking around in the airport hangar. Like they got like a HOA over there and they're all just nifty, talking to each other, working on their planes, their people. And they just went straight to the helicopter while I was eating and I was watching. And I was like, all right, what's going on? Maybe they noticed me. Maybe they wanted to see what I'm doing. Maybe these guys are picky. They went straight in there, tried to figure out what the smell was. And then I walked up to them, asked them, are you guys okay? Is everything all right? Can I help you guys? Oh, we want to find out where the smell's coming from. I'm like, it's a bio bomb right here. It's iced out. And the gentleman was telling me, he's like, I smelled it from the other side. And I popped it about maybe 20 minutes in already. And it's reaching maybe 75 yards down the other hangar with the door wide open.
Shout out the drafts. The draft was in our
we
favor.
We are, by no uncertain terms, advertising that we'll fill an airplane hangar with 1 single bar. Just putting that out there right now.
It was probably the whiff of the air.
The winds were in our favor that day, right? It led to some beautiful things for you. So,
well, that brings up a good point as far as the bars, right? Because some people say, "Oh, I don't smell it as much," but if the wind hits it when you get in the car, guess what? You're smelling it, right? It's so.
I typically smell it when the windows are down, just like almost more in my face because it wafts around in the car and kind of comes up and whacks you one,
like lament for me, right? It was like strong, and then I felt like it disappeared. Then it came back strong again. It's like regenerated or something.
It does something like that.
I don't know what I was like. I had it in there for a month, and then like it was out of sight, out of mind. And then I got in the car and I was like, man, it smells like lament in here right now. And it was the same one. And I'm talking, I was at like day 50 at that point.
It was days later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
I haven't tried the mint yet. I haven't got my hands on it yet.
But just be patient. We're going to start. We do this thing where when Godfrey drops an F-bomb, he's got to buy people free shit out of his pocket. So
I'm going undefeated tonight.
At some point, he's going to mess up tonight. It's too hard for him not to. We'll get you some.
Yeah.
So talk about, obviously, dude, I mean, you detail cars, a lot of guys, they do cars. Not many guys are in the aerospace, right? Like, how did you get into I
got really lucky. I've been detailing professionally for about 2 years. I've had a client who's bi-monthly. I go work on his car. He gives me a new car every time. He owns about maybe, I want to say 25, 30 cars. I haven't worked on the same car yet.
How did you meet this cat?
My dad's a mechanic. It was one of his customers. It's just luck by luck by luck.
That's awesome.
So it was maybe the 5th car he gave me. It was like a Ford, the Ford Mustang GT, nothing special. Working on it. He's like, hey, have you ever worked on planes?
Yeah, I love that.
Ford
Whoa.
Mustang GT.
GT. Whoa.
I know, it's the line afterwards you said that was so great. I hope everybody in the chat caught that. It came so natural, without a doubt. We are chopping this as a clip.
That must have been a 94 or something like that.
15
We weren't working
minutes,
on a
20
Saline
seconds.
Mustang. It was just a GT.
He said nothing special, and Godfrey's heart broke in a million pieces.
Right.
But yeah, he's like, have you ever worked on helicopters? And I just looked at him. I'm like, no, but I mean, if you're willing to let me work on it, I'm willing to try. So like 2 weeks later, met him up at the Van Nuys airport and went over there, worked on it. He was pretty cool. He was pretty humble. I mean, I missed a couple of spots here and there, and he came, he picked it out. I'm like, dude, again, it's my first time. It's my first one. But right that day, dude, it's just another lucky draw. Like the cards were just coming my way. The guys just started coming up, asking questions. I went in there with like 50 cards in my van. I came home with about like 10, 12 of them.
How good of a feeling.
So I handed out a good amount of business cards and left them somewhere.
Good leads too. They felt good because you're like, yo, I'm in a new space. You know what I mean? That's dope.
I just liked working in the shade and that breeze. Like, working under the sun, you guys. Like I'm telling you, man.
I get it, dog.
The sun's getting to me.
I get it.
Really, I mean, I guess there's got to be money at like a place like that, right? To be like, oh, would you like a nice cold San Pellegrino instead of getting a Dasani and
they had a guy cooking Wagyu beef over there too. He was cooking Wagyu beef, just cooking out. He's like, I'm here every day, Monday through Friday, just cooking.
Nice.
He had a line. It was really good too. His food was really good.
That's crazy.
Food was really good, but not as good as the experience I had over there, man. My mind's just been moving. I mean, I'm considering getting a second van, but it's just all in the air now. I mean, call it getting a little. I don't want to be cocky, but I want to be prepared. I'm very anxious when it comes to stuff like that. I want to be the person that's on top of everything. I don't want room for error at all. No room for error. Zero.
You gotta make mistakes, man. Because if you ain't making mistakes, you ain't growing. So shit's gonna happen. I think, but that's the thing you mentioned earlier in the conversation. You were saying like you missed a couple spots, right? The guy pointed them out. You apologized to him. You were honest with him, kind of transparent, like, yo, man, it's my first one or whatever. But I feel like that type of authenticity within when you run a business is really just as important as the work that you do, right? Because you want to feel comfortable giving your money to somebody that cares about what it is that that someone's saying to you back that might be negative, right? Like stuff happens.
Definitely. I mean, I feel like that's my biggest fear detailing is I'm having a very hard time finding good help as far as somebody I can trust. Because at the end of the day, if the guy screws up, it's going to be my business's name on it. And I'm having a very hard time trusting people. And all my friends, family, everybody's telling me, you got to get a second worker. I mean, I just love doing it myself.
Well,
because it's hard too.
Dude, having employees is tough. From on a detailing perspective, it's tough. I always tell guys, man, like you're going to get, if you can find somebody good and you get 5 years with them, consider it to be a blessing from God directly. Because like realistically, guys are going to learn the trade. They're going to go off on their own. They're going to branch off. You're going to give them a new opportunity. The goal is to at least teach them and give them enough education and let them know that you understand at some point they're going to branch off, but try to be, you want to try to get 5 years out of somebody, man. You get a solid year in, making sure somebody's good to keep on, keep aboard. If you can keep them for 4 more years after that, that's a blessing, man. It's hard.
Yeah, definitely.
It's an industry that people want to get into. Like, oh, I can do this on my own, But again, a lot of people don't understand doing your books, making sure you're being profitable, ordering your right amount of supply, staying in stock, doing your schedule, like performing the work. Like, as a business owner, you're like self-employed at the same time, right? Like if you're not working, you're not getting paid. But if you get an employee, now all of a sudden, like you might not have to work that day and you could focus on getting some leads done or cleaning up things or getting inventory, whatever, But again, it's that it's tough, man. It's tough. We ran crews with 5 guys, man. We've dropped down because it's a pain in the ass to deal with a lot of employees.
No, I believe it, man. I believe it.
And you can't find good help. I'm very lucky that I have this attractive gentleman over. Where you at, Godfrey? Right here. This guy. Right I'm super lucky to have that big head right there. He's
Yeah,
rocking.
No,
He's
and
rocks- he's
everybody
rock
in
solid.
Cali, everybody has that dream of becoming their own boss. Like people I talk to, in this 2 years, I've had 5 people approach me, friends, family, randoms. Hey, I want to come check out your setup. Hey, I want to do this. Hey, I want to come on a ride along. Never showed up, never came, never nothing.
Really?
Everybody, the people I talk to, they're just, oh, but you own your own business, you're your own boss. Yeah, but at the same time,
I love
you
that.
could go open up a taco stand on the side of the street and call yourself a business owner. But at the end of the day, you don't have that drive. You're chasing that money. So as a small business owner, you got to love that trade. You can't just go in there for money. And the younger cats I'm seeing trying to get into detailing, they're chasing the money. They're just following the Instagram, how to make $1,000 in 10 minutes detailing this Lamborghini.
Don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on the clout chasing.
Yeah, but I feel like there's there's youngins in the game that are still representing. Absolutely. There's a couple guys.
For sure, 100%.
Absolutely, man. You know what
Tons
I mean?
of them.
AC, he's dope as shit. Alfredo, man, that kid came out of high school, like 17 years old, bought a Sprinter van and just went right to it. Like,
but they have the passion, guys. They got the passion.
Top class, 100%.
Somebody coming out of high school, they're still figuring themselves out. And for him to know what he wants and chase that, get a Sprinter van, he's chasing his dream, bro. And
I didn't know what the hell I was doing when I got out of high school, dog. I went to 13th.
Either. I was having this conversation with my wife yesterday.
I went to 13th grade, and I was like, "Is this shit for me or not?" Like,
I've gotten to know top class pretty well. I got to tell you, like, I think about when I talk to him and I talk to some of the younger guys that are doing well. I am impressed by their focus at that young age. Because when I'm thinking about me at 22, I was like, I was not that focused. You know what I mean? When I
was in the club on this shit.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Fucking glossed. Oh, I did it first. Oh, my goodness.
Looks like somebody's dipping into their pocket.
We got to do a giveaway, man. Unbelievable. All right. Beans I cursed. I'm the one that's going to have the question. All right, chat, pay attention. This one's probably going to go fast. What was the description of how Eric described the Ford Mustang that he was detailing? What was the word that was used? This is going to be for a iced out bar on me. What we got? Who we got first?
Oh, Corey.
Nah, that ain't it. David got it. We got to make sure we showcase this one.
Oh, was it? Is that what it was?
Nothing special was exactly what was said.
I'm not gonna take it as offense.
Just the GT, nothing special.
He must have been doing a 95.
Hey, shoot me a DM, man, or send me your information over to info.
Must have been doing like a 95 or a 96. The year nobody
96.
What was it? 96?
How'd I
know? How'd I know? That's the year nobody wants.
It's too good. It's too good. So, talk about this plane situation, right? So you do the helicopter, you pass out some cards. What happened?
Came back. I'm still not familiar with plane names, but it was like a single engine, like with the propellers, like 2 or 3 seater. Started working on that one, and that's when my pressure washer gave out. So I was sitting under the exhaust, just scrubbing with Koch Chemie for like about an hour, trying to make it look presentable for him. But it was a nice wash and wax. It came out nice afterwards. A little more humble. I charged him a little more, but I didn't want to just bump my prices up from what I downplayed when I originally did the first helicopter. I ended up self-educating myself, calling around a couple of other places, seeing how much they would charge. And they had stuff like rush deliveries. Like, yeah, we got a $10,000 rush delivery. We could be there in an hour. And I'm like, $10,000 rush delivery? What's going on over here? And everything it's already, I'm
this, bro.
It's just popping up. Like,
I'm gonna call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Like, it doesn't matter to me what's going on.
So I'm just home on Instagram. I was on Instagram that night, just scrolling, and I saw some crazy stuff. I saw some guy with a Sprinter van with a helicopter pad on top of his van.
Oh, that's.
But it also got me thinking, why would you need to put it that high? Is he gonna have to fly it there?
No, that's my boy Joe. He's actually coming on a podcast. If it's not next week after, he should be on sooner than later. I seen that post yesterday. I was cracking up, or today, whenever he put it up. He detailed the helicopter. The dude flew in where he did the detail at, and then when the dude went to leave, I would imagine You know what I mean? He was like, yo, you want a shot with this thing? I'll land like damn close to the van. He just set up the camera, whatever, and just stood there like this, and the shit's coming down right on top of us. It was wild, bro. That's my boy, man.
I think that's
He
probably
does some
what I
crazy
saw.
shit.
Was it a red helicopter?
Red helicopter. Yep, had New
Yeah,
Jersey.
that's the one I
numbers on
saw.
it.
It was a
Yep.
black van with
Yep.
like a I
He
saw
got
it. That was insane, man.
Dude, he's crazy, man. He'll be on in the next couple of weeks. He's a cool dude.
Nice, man. That was dope. That's a dope setup.
But it's like, you know, the opportunity for you to be able to move into that. You were saying when we were talking earlier in the chat, like you're thinking about moving away from cars in general if it works out good.
If it does, God willing, if it does, I mean, I'll just drop the cars, and at that point, I'll get an employee, train them, and just have them deal with the car clients, and I could just post up in a nice hangar under the shade for 4 seasons. I got you.
I know Godfrey probably knows a couple people he could set you up with, but I know a couple people as well. I'll try to put you in touch with. They do a lot of planes, so you know they'll at least at least the 2 people I can put you in touch with. They're really nice people, man. They'll educate you with everything they know. And then I think
a bunch of questions.
99% sure both of them started doing cars and moved away from cars entirely.
Yeah,
I mean, even
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
A secret sauce. A lot of these guys tell me with the planes is the Baobab minis, right? Like that's huge.
100%.
You know, just steaming everything in there. They say
100%.
it's like a must for them for doing even like a Cessna or any type of plane. The Baobab mini is just like, and the steamer is just a go-to for them.
Yep. So my buddy Kel, she did it. She's done multiple planes with the minis and has phenomenal results. The first time we were talking, it was like, hey, is this gonna work? Like my customer has like odors inside of the plane, blah blah blah. I want to make sure we can get out. I'm like, dude, you're perfectly fine. You can use it on everything. You don't have to worry about instrument clusters and all that stuff. Just blast the heck out of it, wipe it down, odors will be gone, and they've all had good results with them. Minis are the way to go for sure in a plane.
The gases, I don't know so much about, man. That I got a nice whiff one time trying to take a nice video.
Bro.
Oh man, it didn't
back
go.
Here. It hits you back here, bro. It's a whole
I used to be
level.
A cigarette smoker, man, and when I stopped, it was like very similar to that feeling I had when I was coming off the cigarettes.
It's a bad burn, bro. And if you catch it the wrong way, it'll cook you for a solid 24 hours. You'll still be like 24 hours later, like, damn, man, like I ain't doing that dumb shit again. It's the worst. I've done it 4 times, solid 4 times, really bad. One of the times, like you said, dude, I was trying to get content, was building up all the haze inside the thing. And I kept going in and trying to get shots and coming out and going in and trying to get shots and coming out. And, I'm being an idiot trying to hold my breath because I'm only gonna be in there for 2 seconds. Then the shot looks real cool. So I'm like, oh, let me and I'm staying in there. My eyes are start tearing like crazy. And I came up and I just was losing my breath and sucked in. And it just, dude, it knocked me back, bro. It's a bad feeling. Don't breathe into VDK, y'all. That shit will definitely
works, but don't inhale.
No, it works. Don't inhale. That's one thing we can say. Do not inhale.
Yeah, well, I had a buddy of mine do that, and he told me to change his voice for about a week. So
he probably took it in a lot harder than I did, that man.
Yeah,
I think I was down for like 3 days. Sounded like I had helium in my system too.
Yeah, dude.
Like an itch back there is what it is. Like it burns the back of your esophagus or whatever, and you just gotta wait for your cells to repair themselves, and it's gonna take a day or 2.
Yeah.
Don't breathe the VDK. That's the PSA.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, it's all over the jar. It's all over the inside, but don't breathe the VDK.
Nah. So now I know you said you had a mechanic background because it's in the family. So what got you into detailing? You were telling me about that. You were telling me you didn't have to use the Gojo on your hands at the end of the day and get all the grease off. You know what I mean?
No, man. I've covered my dad. I've worked with him. Basically born under a hood. I mean, I love cars. I see the way he works. I can't deal with the heat, the grease, the mess. It was just too much. I mean, the car's coming in during the summer and it's just breathing, blowing hot air, and you're sweating from everywhere, and you got problems you can't fix. You got to troubleshoot it yourself because you opened it. I looked into body work. wasn't for me. It wasn't satisfying. So I looked at the next best thing was becoming a detailer. My kids loved car washes. So like, Papa, let's go do a car wash. Let's go do a car wash. And detailing just came up, man. Started working out on my car for like a nice year and a half. And it's been like 6 months now. I got a van. Just using the customers' electricity, water. They were cool about it too, man. And now
I think most people, if you pull it up to their house, hooking up to their hose, things like that, if you're just getting started, man, as long as you're educating yourself through YouTube and you're watching videos and playing around with your own vehicle or whatever, I think you're more than capable to go out and use people's,
I mean, my philosophy with that was if the customer isn't okay with you using their water and power, me personally, I don't want you as a customer. Because that's just giving me a big telltale of what's going to happen when I start detailing your car. It's going to be, oh, you missed this, you did that. And now come try to explain to this unreasonable person already that, hey, this isn't covered in the deal that you got. I could do it extra. Oh, no, I don't want it. So it was, if they're going to complain about the water and power, well, I got to have you move to the next detailer. I'm going to pass on it. It's just a headache that I don't want.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I don't gotta worry about that no more. Living that van life, that airplane.
No, I
life.
got pressure washer problems.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, it happens. We said it's a Kranzel you're having problems with.
Yeah.
Anybody in the chat having problems with their Kranzel? Let us know.
6-month-old Kranzel.
6-month-old Kranzel.
Still a baby.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, man. Well, listen. So you break out the Coach Cumming and the Scrum Ninja, Yeah.
Wow. That's the worst, man. That's the worst. Over the years and stuff, we'd be out at a dealership, a vacuum, a burnout or something. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my God, like not now, Or like an inverter would take a shit. Have to go in between one job to another, buy an inverter, swap it out in the parking lot of Harbor Freight, just to get by the rest of the day. And you're like, oh yeah, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. Great. On a Tuesday. How's the rest of my week gonna go?
So what made you come up with your name for Flex Wash Auto Detail? I always ask people why they came up with their name, why they picked their name.
That's a tough one, man.
Is it this shit or what?
Not even, bro. It turned into a baby, man. I lost it when I got kids, bro.
Yeah,
a lot of junk food. And
you're not back there. You're not back there swinging those big bowling pins that I see those Armenians.
No, man, that was high school time. That was high school. High school, we had the whole setup. 35.
All right,
that was 2000. That was 2004 to 2008.
Okay. How old are you kids?
That picture's catfishing now. The logo. I got funny. 2 boys, 3 and 5.
Nice, dude. Congratulations. That's what's up. So you're busy. You're busy even outside of the job.
Oh yeah, being a father to these boys, bro. Any fathers out there, it's a full-time job, man.
Yeah, man. Especially when
that's a lot harder than detailing.
Yeah. Yo, I get it, man. I don't have kids of my own, but I get it. I got buddies of mine, and I see them and talk to them, and I'm like the moral support sometimes. So I get it. It's tough. Shout out to all the dads out there, man. Y'all do amazing things. I don't even know how y'all do it.
So what was the car, and don't you dare say a Mustang, that you had to work on?
That's hilarious.
When you were doing the mechanic work, where you're like, son of a bitch, I hate these cars. Like they're such.
You're gonna hate me, man. It's gonna be a Mustang again, and I remember this
specifically. Guy is one of the best.
I remember this specifically. It's coming right. I don't remember the year. It was an ugly green colored automatic Mustang with about 165,000 miles, and it had a heating core problem.
That'd be a V6.
Everything had to come out. Everything, the whole dash.
Oh my God!
And I could just see my dad too. He was, and I don't normally see him do it. He was just scratching his head for like about 20 minutes, and then he had a cigarette, and then he just started cussing in Armenian, like this piece of shit Ford. Like,
was it like was it the 90s? Like late 90s, early 90s?
Sounds like
like maybe 2001. Maybe 2001.
Same thing. Sounds like a 6-banger. 6-banger automatic.
He was a teacher. The customer was a teacher.
It was definitely a 6-banger then.
It was probably definitely an automatic too. No disrespect to anybody out there who be teaching, but just saying.
No, man, I sat there for about 4 days just watching my dad go ham on this car, man. I tried helping him however way I could, whether it was holding a screwdriver, giving him like a screw,
or just being there
holding
while
a
he's
flashlight, and
yeah,
just giving him moral support. Because I could say that confidently, that was the first time I saw my dad struggle as a mechanic.
no shit.
Whether it like at the age is, I mean, I love my pops, bro. I tell him you're 65 years young.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
at the end of the day, man, I didn't know whether it was his age getting to him or he was just like fed up with this car. He just tried everything, and when he troubleshot it, he's like, okay, this has to be the heating core. This is the last thing it could be. And he's looking at the work on the laptop, and it's showing him like 17 hours of work.
Oh.
And he's looking at his partner, and I know his partner's not watching, but that guy smokes like a chimney, dude. He'll just sit there and smoke his cigarettes all day while my dad's working, busting chops.
Oh,
like
man.
he'll come as like moral support type of partner, but
yeah.
he's one of the hardest working guys I know, man. Shout out to my pops.
What's the easiest car to work on?
Bro.
What was the easiest car to work on?
As a mechanic?
Mm-hmm.
Honda Civics.
I was gonna. I swear I was gonna say Civic, and I would have said 90s as well.
I knew he wasn't gonna say Dodge, that's for sure. But
no, I'm saying Civics are ridiculously. They were ridiculously easy to work on, bro.
They don't even break. You can just ride those bad boys.
They're the best, bro.
I kind of think all the older cars, even 90s and below, like the classics, they were the easiest cars to work on because there's just so much space to work on the cars. There weren't all these electrical components.
That's the biggest thing, bro. Yeah, you're going around all types of shit nowadays with navigation screens and all that stuff. You got I mean, there was never no automatic vents and shit for cars. Like you would put your car on whatever 1, 2, 3, or 4, set your dial where you wanted it to be at, pick where you wanted it, and it just came out, bro. There was no like set auto 172 and have comfort zones and all that shit. Like just everything was easier back then.
I mean, the cars turn on by themselves now, bro. They're driving.
Yeah, dude. The scariest part is, man,
cooling themselves.
Yeah, but if we get some type of crazy shit to go on where they like shut down somebody, like whatever car company's servers it is, like most of these cars won't even turn on, bro. Like you're done. You know what I mean? Like that's the facts.
Yep.
That's what I miss my Tacoma, man. That thing was like rugged as you can get. Key turn
Toyotas
on.
and Hondas.
Yeah,
that's
man.
it.
Absolutely.
They last a long time though. That's the thing too. So one of my backup cars was a 98 Civic. This thing had ugly paint, but I bought it off this dude that was traded in for his daughter. It was this Indian guy, and he's traded in for a Honda Fit. And she's driving the Fit, and she's bucking in the Fit because she doesn't know how to like drive the car aggressively at all. Like I'm like, I'm in the back at a test drive. And I'm like, what's
First of all, you in the back of a Fit is crazy, dog.
Yeah, well, I'm not that big. Jesus, I mean,
I'm not saying that car
making it sound like I gotta get greased into the car.
No, I'm saying it's a subcompact car. I couldn't fit in the back of a friggin' Fit.
Yeah, well, she drives it, and then I'm looking at the car, and he wants to trade it in, and I'm like, what does he want for this car? And he had a service booklet about this thick. The dude got the throttle bodies maintenance on this thing, so I turned around and bought that car for $1,000, and I rode that thing. That was my snow. That was my snow warrior. I used to ride through the snow like a champ with that 2-wheel drive. I could do anything in that car in the snow. People were like, "What is going on?" I'm like once you try to whip a rear-wheel drive car in the snow and you go to a 2-wheel drive car, you feel like you can conquer the world. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, what, front to rear? Yeah,
yeah.
It's night and day, dude.
Yeah, you're like, I try to drive with a rear-wheel drive car in the snow, 2-wheel drive, give it to me, Yep. But yeah, that Civic would like I regret I like sold it or traded it in. I almost feel like I should have kept it because it had probably still been running today. That's how that thing was.
Probably would have been worth more now.
Yeah, except for the shoddy paint job. I would have had to spray paint it or something. But those 90s Honda's paint jobs, they definitely would peel eventually. You know how it was.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah. That paint was gone, but
that's a fact. 10 millimeter, 12 and 14 on a Honda will get you just about everything done.
He pulled a high tower from Police Academy and ripped the front seat out and sat in the back seat. No, but I've had to do that.
That's classic. High tower was great.
I've squeezed into the back of a Mustang for a test drive, and that was awful. I feel
like a Fit would be worse. No, I'm telling you, I clean.
No,
Fit.
There's no space in a Mustang, man, in the back seat.
Do you know how small a Fit is?
No, but you're
right. You're right. Comparatively,
it's like that.
Mustang, there's nothing back there. You're right.
Unless the dude's on the dashboard like this in the front, like, that's the only way.
Yeah, you can let you get
Driving.
Shout out to people that ride really close to the front of the steering wheel. Y'all make me laugh. It happens.
Yeah, the front of I know people like that. I used to date a girl like that. She'd be like, like this,
All up on the
steering wheel.
Yeah, like your knees are bashed into the.
Be on the highway, people be passing us. She used to
Yeah,
get afraid when I drove my Mustang. She thought I drove too fast. We're in there one day. She's holding the steering wheel tight. This dude goes blazing by. Must have been doing 120. I was like, that's fast. You know what I mean? And she's like on it like this. I'm like, why are you driving like a grandma? You know what I mean? Ridiculous.
I almost feel like that's not safe, man.
That relationship didn't work out for you?
Nah, man. Go on. She didn't like bridges. So.
Oh, snap. No, it's not safe to drive that slow.
No, especially on the highway.
Not even that slow, that close. Like, is the airbag going to save you or are you going to fly out the window?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, or you're going to crush your abdomen, your whole rib cage, like up on the steering wheel. Or the steering wheel is going to blow through your chest like a chest burster in the Alien movies. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to be so far up on it, it's going to pop out your back.
Yeah, have you ever seen those videos? They're diabolical, but they make me laugh. And it's usually like some like Russian dudes or something where like their buddy's sitting on a bed and they booby trapped an airbag under there and he's on the bed and they set it off and he goes flying in the air.
When they put him in the chairs,
I'm like, wow.
Yeah, when I see the bulls sit down in the chairs in the lobbies of places or whatever and they rig them up with the airbag, their shit's blow.
I've seen those videos, man.
I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna laugh, but I'm gonna punch you in the face later. There's gonna be a price to pay for that if I'm on.
Let me tell you something. If you send somebody in the air, you better hope they have some type of like cat-like reflexes. There's a strong possibility they might not land right. That's the problem with doing that shit. Like most of them dudes, they fly, dude. I watch some of these videos when I see them pop up on my feed. And I'm like, yo, how's that dude not dead?
Yo,
and I don't like that negativity shit in my feed. You know, I don't want to see people getting hurt and shit like that. But the airbag thing is funny. I'm like,
yeah, it's funny, especially as nobody gets hurt.
The newest joint is this though, bro.
What?
The Aura racing dudes, yo. He's killing that, dude. I'm
from
sorry.
Indonesia.
Yeah, dude. And that song too, the story behind the kid that wrote that shit, it's all really cool shit to me, man. I can't get that shit out of my head.
That's cool. Yo, I think it's time to launch Fresh AF.
We can do that. Let's run that. Eric, good luck, bro. Most of this shit's probably Godfrey, so.
Oh, look at it.
You know, I'm just throwing it out. Fresh AF, boy. Fresh AF, boy.
I don't think you have any idea how
fresh.
I really am.
I gotta work. I still gotta work on that. What do you want me to tell you?
Nah, it's all right.
Time is of the essence, my man.
So,
all right, bro. Familiar with this? We're gonna give you some bunch of questions.
Favorite bio air freshener bar scent?
Yeah.
Favorite one.
Can I pick two as a mix?
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't be the first. You Cali homies love to mix, love to do that.
LLC and iced out.
LLC
that's
and
what I use in my car. LLC and iced out.
Yeah, that's that flawless squash right there.
I could tell Mr. Daniel's got to you. Yeah.
That's my boy, bro.
I could tell he got to you because that's his. Every time we talk to him,
I saw it. I tried it. I was like, "Whoa, what is this? Maybe he's onto something over here, man."
I should have known that was going to be your answer.
That's Daniel's shit right there, bro.
Yeah,
squashed ice, squash,
man. He put me on game on the ceramic coating, the paint corrections. Puts in a lot of work. Bro. Shout out to Daniel, man. Seriously.
Absolute legend. Goat in the game. One of the coolest, most humble cats ever, man. Just if you ever get a chance to interact with Mr. Salazar, you're missing an opportunity to talk to a goat, man. He's the truth.
So, yeah, man. I tried that combination. It's a tough combination. I like it. It's good for sure.
But before you guys brought Squash LLC, I'd say iced out.
Okay.
I respect that.
Nice. All right, rinseless or nah?
Nah.
No rinseless.
Okay. Eddie, shout out to Eddie Cologne. I don't know if y'all saw. He released a video. This thing was this week, just a couple of days ago. When it's worth a watch. His rinseless versus traditional or whatever. I forget what the title of it was, but he was basically saying how you can't use a rinseless in every situation. Which, if you know Eddie, I'm happy he finally came to the realization that what everyone else has been talking about for a really long time. So shout out to my man EC if you're listening.
Nice. Can't use it in every situation. All right. See, I live in the city, so I want to get myself a rinseless wash hookup for where I live.
You need it. I think that's a very like. There's definitely applications for it, and I think you're one of them cats, Guy, where you could totally use it, dude. You get a bucket, you know what I mean. Get yourself a little pump sprayer. You're good to go. You can do one panel at a time. You got a black car, that's perfect for you.
I got to get the bugs off the front. You know what I mean?
You get some BDE.
Yep. So
the other
rinseless scares me.
Does it? Okay.
It's very intimidating if you go to use it for the first time or second time or fifth time or whatever. A lot of guys who use rinseless that I talk to, they're like, I use rinseless, but I don't use it for rinseless. I use it on my interiors. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of like where a lot of people like to use it at door jams, shit like that, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Crocs or not? Big question.
I don't know. I want to try them, but not. I haven't. I want to try them.
Good for you. See how that's more than I can get to.
Resist the urge, my friend. Resist the urge.
I can't get to the one.
It's just a weird concept, man. I don't know.
Listen, I don't argue.
Anytime you want to wear Crocs, just get down and do like 10 push-ups. Like, just no Crocs right now.
No Crocs, no Crocs.
Socks, man.
Nah, man, I get it, dude. I totally could get it. If you're blasting all day, your shoes are getting wet. You know what I mean? Like, there's not really like a protocol. Like the Crocs kind of make sense in the industry. It's just, you'd be hard pressed to see me in public with them. I'll just feel weird.
Yeah, nice. I just feel like it looks weird, man. I haven't seen it on a detailer yet, but I mean, I'd be laughing, balling down if I see a detailer.
I mean, if I ever
driving by,
if I ever had a pair of Crocs, the only pair of Crocs I think I could fuck with is a pair of. Damn, I did it again. Camo.
Damn, that's two.
Who's next?
Karma.
2 times.
Yeah, our boy Nick had a pair of camo Crocs, and I picked them up. I was like, "Is this how you put it in 5-speed? Put the little handle over,
little speed strap or something they call it. Yeah,
sport mode.
Sport mode. I think that's so funny. Yeah, sport mode. So crazy. Like we mean sport mode. You can run them that way. All right, whatever.
Fill your feet up with blisters running in them.
Yep.
Shout out to the comments, man. Some of our comments are so hilarious. We don't even get a chance to showcase them. I hope you guys are all reading them.
So, favorite polisher?
Rupes.
Okay.
Definitely the Rupes. Daniel trained me on that, and ever since then, I've just been using it. I tried the liquid elements. It's just a little too loud for me. I gotta put
the new one, the cordless joint.
Yeah, no, not the cordless one. The one that they showed up at MTE last year.
Oh, okay, dude. I'm telling you, that cordless is fire.
Our first one.
The cordless is fire.
So I haven't tried the cordless yet, but the wired one is just a little too loud for my liking.
So I got a chance to use it at MTE this year. Not for a long time or nothing like that, but the machine's quiet, man. It's smooth. Got like it's no vibrate. It's good. It's a good machine.
Wait, hold on, man. The battery one was the one that they brought to the MTE
this year.
Well, they have a wired one, right? Because I've
have a wired one, but I think what happened, they had, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, guys in the chat, you could tell me, but I'm pretty sure Eddie had a version the year prior that he saw. I don't know where it was that he might have saw it or whatever, but he said it was trash. The dudes like kind of took it personal. They kind of reconstructed a lot of what they did that Eddie complained about. I'm sure along with other people as well, but the new cordless they have is night and day from the one that they had before.
I'll have to check it out.
But the new machine's pretty dope. I mean, I never used the other ones, but
I mean, listen. If I were you, stick with the Rupes. I'm just joking. I have no opinion on Godfrey the detailer. I don't detail.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen Godfrey's videos, but he's.
I mean, maybe one day you guys will catch me polishing something. I hope it's an experimental car. Not going to be my car, that's for sure. So
not anymore. Now you got that fresh paint on that thing. Better take care of it, dude. I'm telling you, couple bad plays on black paint, bro. You can be swirling my girly soon.
I hate black paint, man. If I had to go back again, I wouldn't buy a black car, man.
Black's not a color; it's a commitment, bro.
Yeah, I know, and it's so bad.
Anybody tells you otherwise doesn't know their shit.
It's so bad. But
It's brutal.
so I'm gonna. Do you ever take Uber or Lyft?
Here we go.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to ask you this question. It's a very important question here.
Very
So-
important.
So let's say you're going out, right? The Uber driver, Lyft driver comes, and you're with 3 of your friends, right?
2 of your friends and you.
2 of your friends and you. And are you going to get in the back seat with your friends, or are you going to go rogue and sit in the front seat?
Oh, I'm sitting in the back, even if I have to sit in the middle. I'm
Really?
sitting in the back.
I'm
No
the same
questions
way.
asked. I used to
Interesting.
be an Uber
Interesting
and Lyft
perspective.
driver when they just came out.
Yo, so
And I used to hate it when people would sit next to me.
See, that's what I'm
Like,
talking
dude, you're
about. yo.
alone. I'm picking you up
I
in my
was so
car.
glad
I'm
I-
giving you
yo.
like a private service.
That's
and I used
me.
to be one
Yo,
of those
yo.
suave drivers. I had water bottles, gum, candy, chargers.
Yo.
Like, I got all this stuff. You
Yo,
want to sit in the
Eric.
front with me?
Yo,
Enjoy your
Eric,
ride. You're paying for the
yo,
ride.
I'm so glad I asked you
He's
this question.
so happy.
Because I also used to do Uber and Lyft, right? And when someone would get like, it was a weird flex to me. Like someone was like, "Can I sit in the front?" And they're by themselves. Have you ever had that happen to you when you were driving?
All the
And
time. It was
I'm like,
always
yo,
alone.
I'm like, oh yeah, you're not a fan of the back seat? All right, cool, no problem. We'll
I
get
think it
going
was the
here.
respect
It was
thing. They're
always
trying
the
to just
Lyft
sit in front with
drivers,
you.
the Lyft passengers, Godfrey. I don't know why. It was always Lyft. Lyft started that phase and it trickled on to Uber. Just let us drive.
Yeah,
Drive
yeah,
me
yeah.
around,
I'm that
sit in the
guy.
back.
Yo,
Just like to
listen.
say I'm that guy.
Eric, we would get into a Lyft, and it'd be like it would just be me and Woodland, or we would get into like an Uber, and this dude's getting into the front seat. Meanwhile, he starts talking to a guy about air fresheners, and he's like, and the guy's like, Vicky, no English, and he just went through like a whole pitch for like 25 minutes, and I'm just like, yo, and I'm sitting in the back seat like this is and the thing is. He's true to form because he's done it more than once, and that's the thing I was trying to say. Like when you're an Uber driver and you got like a newspaper there, maybe some candy, you just had McDonald's or something, and this dude's like, yeah, and someone's like, can I sit in the front seat? And you look at him like, yeah, let me just move on my shit here for you.
Nah, man.
I see JT's comment in the chat, dude. You ain't gonna be happy when you're sitting in the front when he gets into an accident, bro. I trust my friends and family. I know how they drive. I don't know how this guy drives, bro.
That is the fact. Sometimes you can get in a really shaky or scary Uber ride, and it goes downhill fast. And it's kind of cool.
Not in an Uber. The guy's driving on the 405 going 50 miles an hour while everybody's honking, passing him. In California, everybody's driving fast. Speed limit doesn't mean anything.
Dude, I had a guy one time, and it was nighttime on 76 in Philly, which is a treacherous road. And he was like following the GPS to a T. So he's stopping in the middle of the road because the GPS was a little late or a little beforehand. I'm like, bro, you got to keep going. Let's move. Because I hear cars, whoo, and I'm just like, yo. And he's like, huh? I'm like, kick it in the drive.
One of the most uncomfortable things when I'm a passenger in a car that a driver who happens to be driving me, which I don't really like to have that happen often, but when it does, if you're one of them cats that are like on the gas, off the gas, like, how like when normal people drive, like you want to do like 65, like you keep your foot at the pedal where like 65 gets you to be at, and you're good. You just leave your foot there and you can just do 65, set the cruise control, whatever, right? Like people are like, and then like they like car backs down again because they like can't get their foot to like stay on the pedal the right way to stay at the speed they want to go to. Y'all ever experienced that before?
Oh, that's the worst, Chris.
Yo.
Especially when they're braking when nobody's in front of you and you have a full 100-gallon water tank behind you going uphill on a freeway where everybody's zooming by, and now you have to break down to 35 miles an hour and try to speed up a hill.
I got forward momentum going here. What are you doing to me, lady?
Yeah. I want to ask you this, Eric, because I'm going to start asking people what jobs they did before they're doing detail, but I want to ask you this. So when you were, I felt like it was like reality show or a great social experiment if you ever did an Uber or Lyft pool ride where you had to get different people in there. Did you ever do any of those? Where like different people got in there? Because then you're guaranteed someone's going to be in the front seat with you.
I got a good story for you, man. Oh, man.
Don't tell me someone started fighting.
It was a Lyft ride. This is maybe like the first year they're operational. Again, with Uber and Lyft, I started when they just came out. They were handing out the free iPhones. That's the time I came in. Just to draw a picture. But it was my first Lyft ride. It was a shared ride. I don't know what the terminology was that they were using, pool or whatnot. But picked up this couple, sat in the back seat. I picked up another person. Luckily, it just started going off. Clicked the ride, picked them up. She sits in the front seat, which is fine. It's a pool. At this point, I'm accepting that they're gonna sit in the front. They don't know each other. They're not gonna sit three people, eyes together, ass together.
Yeah.
This woman sits in the front seat. She lights up a cigarette, and I already know something's wrong with her. I don't know. At this point, there was no dash cams. There wasn't any of this stuff.
Yeah, it was before all the
And the
safety
people behind me,
protocols.
I'm just looking in the rearview mirror, and they're looking at me like, "Are you gonna do something?" Without saying a word. Like I can already tell. And I'm looking at the
They're
lady.
looking
I'm like,
at you
"Yeah,
like,
I
we're
can't
gonna give
smoke
you a
here."
shitty. We're gonna
And
give
she
you a
has
shitty
my
review.
window cracked. She has my window cracked, and she's just sticking the cigarette out of the small little crack. Like, you want to feel any more at home? Take your shoes off, like take your socks off, kick your feet up on my dash. But it was the most uncomfortable. I had to end up kicking her out, and it was hell. It was hell. I had Lyft on the phone. I'm telling them I gotta kick this customer out. And the customers I had in the back, they locked I was outside trying to pull this woman out. Doors locked. I'm telling her to get out of the car. She's not getting out of the car. Took off her seatbelt, grabbed her, and I'm talking to Lyft. Tell them, hey, you guys got to ban this passenger. Not getting out of the car. They have a cigarette lit in my car. I have different customers in the car. She ended up getting out after spitting on my car like 4 or 5 times on the window. I just left her in South Central LA and just drove off. And if you're in LA, don't pick up or drop off in South Central. Anytime I would get a call, I would try to stay out of that area. And sometimes if I was sleepy or tired and I wouldn't pay attention to the GPS on where I'm going, actually, where my destination is, customer's already in the car. I'm not going to kick him out.
Right.
But I'd just go offline real fast and get the hell out of there, man. When the sun goes down, you don't want to be South Central.
Yeah, I was like that with Camden, New Jersey. I was like, yo, I'm in and out real quick. Like dude, you never lived until you got yelled at by a deaf person, and you didn't figure out they're deaf till later on. So I had this lady. I picked this older lady up. Yeah, I'm not joking. I picked this older lady up, right? And it's Christmas time, so there's Christmas parties going on. She's a little tanked, but she's with it, right? She gets in the back. She's like saying like, hey, whatever. She's a little sloshed, I could tell. And she looks at me. She's like, this 20 is for you. I'm like, all right, thanks. And I'm looking at her. I'm like, why don't you just rip me off 20? I'm looking in the back seat and looking around. She pissed in my back seat. I was like, oh, shit. So I had no, it wasn't a lot, but it was like
this is pre-minis too.
Yeah, this is pre-minis. Now I had cleaning supplies in the back for this exact situation, so I was prepared. Like I had throw-up bags and everything.
Never
like
prepared for some other.
If I thought someone was gonna upchuck, I'm like, yo,
shit.
do it in the bag. It's gonna cost you $150 if you don't. And you guys will laugh as detailers, right? You're like, if something like that happens, I'm like, oh yeah, we'll credit you $75 for a detail. And I used to work at a dealership. I'm like, where the fuck are you getting a detail for $75? Yeah. And so I'm like, all right. So it wasn't a lot. I think the lady just lost a little bit of control of her bowels or anything, but they hit her for $150, so I got $170 out of it, right? And I had this dude waiting for me, and I was like, do I cancel this ride? So I cleaned it, right? And it was on one side.
No, you didn't.
So
like, yo, sit on the other side, bro.
No, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. The dude was super pissed at me because for some reason, and he started yelling at me, and I'm like, why is this guy acting weird? And I couldn't figure it out. And I was like, yo, dude, make sure you sit on that side. Well, he went on the opposite side. He didn't know. I didn't tell him, but he was yelling at me. He like growled at me, like no joke. And I was like, and I looked down, I was like,
yeah,
yo,
you see some weird shit.
I was like, listen, get out of my car. You're an asshole. And I kicked him out. But and the ride, I'm no lie, it was like he called me for a ride that was like a block and a half. I wanted to be like, yo, why don't you walk, you lazy piece of crap? And the dude growled at me. Like I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, why is this guy growling at me? And like his speech was weird.
Like growl.
He growled at me because he was pissed because I was late. And I was late because of the big lady tinkling him in my back seat. And so, but the funny thing is I was trying to prevent him. I was trying to prevent him from sitting on that side, and he growled and got all aggressive. And then he sat in the pee spot. I was like, well, I guess justice is served. And we were on our way. So,
sheesh.
Yeah, I was like, Merry Christmas to the Godfrey, because
Well, I saw a lot of weird stuff, man, driving. I've heard of stories. The Uber driver picks up the customer at LAX at Terminal 1, and he notices on the GPS. This is a funny, true story. He sees the GPS. It says that the drop-off's at LAX. So he tells the customer, hey, man, maybe you didn't put your address. He goes, oh, no, I'm going to Terminal 2. So this customer ordered a ride, SUV. Driver gets out thinking it's going to be a long ride, loads up all the heavy bags, everything. Keep in mind, it's 2 people with like 6-7 bags, big ones, heavy ones, like international flight. I'm going out for months.
Yeah.
And he's happy. He's like, all right, these guys are foreigners. I'm going to take them on a long ride somewhere far. He's going to Terminal 2.
Wow.
Literally, if they were to walk 50 steps and they requested the ride so they don't have to take all of that stuff with them.
Wow.
The driver was pissed, bro, because he had to wait. Like when you get to LAX, back then you had to wait in line. So you were just coming down the route. So it's the luck of the draw. You might have somebody going to Santa Barbara, or you might have somebody going down the street to the hotel, or in this case, the next terminal.
Yo, man, when you used to pick up people from the airport, I don't know how it was in LAX, but in Philly, it was like you would drive into the lot, and it was like the gathering of degenerates. I swear to God, like they had everybody, all the people piled in the one lot. There's like 3 messed up porta potties, and there's like 100 cars waiting to pick people up. I'm like, where am I at right now? I don't know about LAX, but Philly was like, yo, this is wild down here. It's a wild.
We got a nice, good conversation, me and you, one day for this. There were drivers back then when they were handing out the iPhones. They had drivers hacking the phones, and there was like some type of a glitch at the airport where they would wait in line, come down the queue from 100. They would come down the queue and stay at position 1, and it would keep them at position 1 without getting a call. And they would, once the surge pricing would go up, bloop, they would go back on, pick up a ride, and then start screening the rides. Hey, where are you going? This is your Uber driver. Oh, you're going to Beverly Hills? Oh, okay. I'm coming. Never came. Eventually, customer would cancel. Just luck of the draw, man. You'd get 3 times. You'd get 3 chances to cancel the ride before you get booted to the back of the line. So you just sit there and wait for one of those 3 scratchers to
Wow.
Good times, man. It was good times as a driver.
Get around the system, bro.
Yeah, look at that.
Right, there's a will, there's a way.
I would do that. Walking is for peasants. Stop. I've said that sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. But I don't mind a good walk. But when someone goes like, "Oh, it's just a 3-mile walk," I'm like, "Walking for peasants." You know what I mean? But if it's a mile and a half, I could do it. Mile, whatever. But that's funny to me. So
3-mile walk's a little bit excessive to do something.
It can be. If it's really hot out, it's really hot out. Worst car to detail.
Ooh.
I always love this question. Prius.
At the first model Priuses too.
With like the tan and the gray carpets on the inside.
It was like the taxi cab.
They were so fucking
unofficial
ugly.
Taxi cab of California.
Yeah, they were so
worst car to work on. Actually, I worked on one. I was showing you the Biobomb Minis, Chris. I sent you the video. Working on the panel, I was just spraying it with the APC, and it was just pouring off.
Yeah,
that guy literally took a shit in his car, man. I've never met somebody with a cigarette smoker that smokes with their windows up.
Yo, they're the wildest cats.
And I see
that.
Nobody,
if you're at a light
nobody
and
you have to
that,
watch for more in life than somebody who smokes cigarettes with the window up. They are a dangerous breed, bro.
That's a certified. That's a certified. I give 0 F's.
There you go, Godfrey.
It's a certified. Yo, I in the wintertime in the Northeast, when I see someone's window up and they're puffing away on a cigarette, I'm like, how?
Especially like at the light. It doesn't really matter because if your window's up, it doesn't matter.
Smoking, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
guys, I've seen houses with people smoking cigarettes, and I've seen tar like on the walls. This car was on another level, you guys. It was my dad's client. He needed a detail, man. My dad's like, "Hey, how much would you charge for a detail?" I'm like, "What kind of car?" He goes, "Prius."
Oh.
I said $250. And he's like, my dad's like, "This guy's not gonna pay anymore." Took the $250 job, went over there. I canceled 3 other clients, spent 8 hours there. Literally, it was a shit show. There was nicotine tar on the panels everywhere with no agitation, just spray.
Yeah,
It
he sprayed,
coming
was
off.
pouring down.
Let me ask you a question. So now you're more experienced. That same situation comes up. Are you keeping the other 3 jobs and canceling that guy? Or are you doing something differently? Because I know after you did that, you're like,
I'm charging more. I'm charging off the bat. I'm charging more. And in order to alleviate that headache, I mean, if at least I know now, if my dad hits me up and says, hey, I got a car, I'm going to ask for pictures.
I was just going to say that. Yo, I don't
Yeah.
know how detailers tell me these days in this world of technology, how if someone wants an estimate, if you can't get there and you want to see it in person, whatever, I get that. Some people are like that. How are you not getting pictures of this car beforehand? Because for me, I'm doing that every time. I'm not, if you can't send a picture message, we can't do business. We can't. It's at that point, you know what I mean?
I haven't requested any pictures. I mean, like every day is a learning lesson for me every day. But it's kind of weird for me to ask. I feel me personally asking the client for pictures on the car might be a little weird. To me, it feels a little intrusive. What car do you have? This is how much you charge for your services. Why do you need to see a picture of my car? I told you the make, model of my car, and if it's something excessive, in my mind, I can upcharge, but going and asking them,
You rather deal with that.
upcharge
You rather deal with that in person than trying to sniff it out ahead of time. Meaning, like someone's like, I got like
You talk that over at the drop off though.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
No, definitely. I look at it. I mean, with that one, the client wasn't there. Once I saw what type of mess it was, I was like, I'm not gonna dick with that. I'm not gonna. Sorry, guys. I'm not gonna screw my dad over. And I didn't want to flake on him, so I ended up doing it. Customer was happy, but get this: the best part, client comes, sits in the car, and he's about to get off he's about to pull out. My dad's like, look at him. Just stick and I was waiting there to get paid. I just turned my head. I see he's smoking a cigarette already. And keep in mind, I spent 8 hours in the blistering sun working. I had the option to put a canopy up, forgot it.
So
and I'm just looking at this guy like, dude, you haven't even put the goddamn car in drive. You're lighting up a cigarette. At least drive so I can't
pull out
see you.
the parking lot. Don't let me see that shit.
Pops told him, he's like, my Pops didn't tell him, this is my son. He's like, this is our detailer. He spent the whole day. He canceled 3 other calls.
Sure.
Spent like 8 hours on your car. Like,
thanks, bro.
Appreciate that. As a client, like, just drive off and then light it up, man.
Did he tip you at least?
$50.
All right. Well, at least he tipped. At least he tipped something.
I like this.
Yeah, but Godfrey, you're spending like the whole day working on the car. Like, you're putting your blood, sweat, and tears. I mean, I take passion in what I do. It's as corny as it sounds. I take passion, turning a shit into a glamour.
Yeah.
And then looking at the guy come sit shampooed carpet. I even my dad, well, not me, but my dad took the seats out so I could get deep in there.
Yeah.
And this guy just comes sit.
Did you find the Marlboro Man under the seats? Because it sounds like
I found Marlboro Man's ash. His remnants.
The literal Marlboro Man. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we got somebody in the chat asking us real fast. I want to get this out real fast before I forget. Godfrey, stop clicking the button. Use any apps for collecting your payments? What do you do? How do you collect?
I'm using Zelle right now. Just Zelle.
Okay. Just
I'm
invoicing.
not taking any credit cards. It's either Zelle or cash.
Okay. Go-to playlist in the trenches. Like, were you listening to some Rage Against the Machine when you were doing this car? Something like that. Like, did you crank up the playlist? When it's a bad.
Believe it or not, reggae music relaxes me.
Okay.
Reggae's the shit.
Reggae music really, and I popped that reggae station on Pandora. Ooh, it takes me on some nice trips, you guys. Like, it's the calmer the music, the better it is for me, because I'm working alone. I don't want to overexert myself. Listen to some Kendrick. They not like us. They not like us. Just bouncing around there. Just keep it calm. Keep it moving. Keep it trucking.
Okay. You're listening.
Calmer the music for me. It's easier for me to zone into what I'm doing.
You ever try listening to like lo-fi and shit like that? You ever try any of that stuff? Like study beats and shit. So type in like lo-fi, like LOFI. And I'm telling you, that's like, you want to talk about chill shit? You can throw that shit on in the background, do anything. You know what I mean? But it's like a chill vibe or whatever. There's different genres of it, but it's definitely something to look into. If you like the reggae for like the chill aspect, that's a chill music.
Reggae and Santana, both stations on Pandora. It's my go-to.
Okay. That's what's up.
Interesting. So, must have an Armenian food when in Cali. Like, what's like a dish at a place that you're like, this is what you have to have?
Well, I can't speak for Northern Cal. I'm from Southern Cal. But you go into Rockies, Glendale. That's where you're
Okay.
going.
So-
We'll go there. The next time you guys are in SoCal, I'll make it a mission where we go over there.
I love
Okay.
that, dude. I love that. Food's the way to go. Let's go.
Butter. The steak's literally like butter. Melts in your mouth.
Love it.
That's what I'm
Like
talking about.
Armenian food.
Listen, man, my air fryer's calling my name right now. Can't wait.
But if you're looking for a quick bite, my boys at Kebab Bites LA, they're in Burbank. On Burbank and Van Nuys, that's my go-to. Hey, every day, almost Monday through Friday, I'm there. Quick bite. They're two brothers, badass guys. This is bomb. All my SoCal guys, if anybody's watching, we'll stop by over there.
I love a good kebab. So, Action Bronson or nah? I'm an Action Bronson guy. I like Action Bronson.
I mean, I gotta ask now, man.
You think? Well, he's Albanian. I don't know if he's not.
No, you're right. No,
he's
is
Albanian.
he Albanian?
Yeah.
He is Albanian.
But do you know who Action Bronson is?
Honest answer? No.
It's an East Coast thing. He might not know.
No. But for me, it's a yeah for Action Bronson.
I agree. I co-sign.
You ever see a show called F That's Delicious on TV? That's that dude. You might have seen.
Let me just write this down.
F That's but that show. Have you watched that show, Willen?
Yeah, he used to be a shot.
The big bald white dude cracks me up. Like I forget his name.
Big body best. He's an idiot.
Yeah.
He's such an idiot. It's unbelievable. His boy Mayhem Lorenz the shit. He's a banging ass rapper too. But the boy, he's an idiot.
Yeah, I just laugh when he starts talking to chicks on the show and just cracks me up.
Dude, if you hear his skits on the albums and some of the shit that he says in some of the verses that Action puts him on, the Big Body Best says some of the wildest shit in the entire world.
Yeah. So
give Action Bronson a try, bro. You like
least favorite rapper.
Oh, I was like
current or all time?
It could be all time.
Could be whatever.
Akon.
I like it.
Okay.
Not a bad choice.
All right.
I could go with no Akon ever again, and I'd be all right. I like that choice.
Do you get down with the rock? And if you do you have a rock band that you like? Favorite rock band?
You said Santana.
Yes,
Santana, but
gotta be close.
A little mix of Metallica, AC. No, System of a Down. Granted, they're Armenian, but it's just too heavy for me.
Okay.
I like the more as age is coming up. I like the more relaxing music. Don't get me wrong. I still listen to rap, but I'm more going into like mellow, classic, like old school music because music's not how it used to be.
No,
music's
definitely
not how it used to be.
No, it's not. But I think our palate changes as we get older too, man. You know, like your ear for certain sounds and vibes or whatever.
Some of the stuff I don't know how it's making its way to the radios, man.
It's all bad, dude. Radio stuff is all bad now. There's no solid pieces of work that come out on the radio. I mean, from a rap hip hop perspective, it's all trash. For the most part, a lot of it's trash.
I'll give you that. So, gloss or dry as F tire shine?
This is my question right here. You do gloss or you do matte finish on your wheels?
On matte cars, I use gloss. On regular glossy cars, I use matte tire shine.
I've never heard that before. Some very interesting perspectives.
But majority of the clients, like not a lot of them are liking the tire shine at all. And
my theory on that is the runoff. And if someone doesn't do it right and it runs off onto your fenders,
that's a good theory.
I think people hate tire shine for that because you get out after your car's just been washed and the dude put tire shine in there and you're like, what is this schism on my car right here? What is this? And you're like, what?
That's exactly the vibe that I'm getting off some of the clients. Like,
but if you do it right, though,
they told me too.
Yeah, like it's like
if you do it right,
I don't want to do it. That makes sense.
I've seen a lot of detailers drench the brushes and just go all over.
I
tell my clients if I'm doing a tire shine, wait. I'm granted I'm gonna put a low amount, but wait like an hour. If it's during the summertime, just let it sit.
Yeah.
The SGS doesn't run off. I know that.
SGS don't sling. That's pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah. Favorite shit don't sling.
Favorite car?
Land Cruiser.
Like
Land Cruiser SUVs.
like an old school Land Cruiser, or like a Toyota
94 with the third road window slides.
Oh, he's
I
like
used to have one.
Biggie Smalls Land Cruiser.
Four wheels all the time. If we're talking about a sedan, we're looking at a 94 Supra.
Okay.
Supra.
So
What color? What color?
Land
What
Cruiser
color?
is still
Hold
running.
on. What color What color Supra?
Either black or like candy purple, like a dark midnight candy purple.
So I knew a dude that had a purple joint. It was all worked out when we were young bulls. We weren't even able to drive yet. He was like 5-6 years ahead of us, making good money out of school or whatever. And he had a Supra and it was badass. That shit was deep purple. It was sick, bro.
Well, I'm a big Fast and the Furious fan, man. I remember the first Fast and the Furious that came out, the first ever one.
Yeah,
My dad rented that from Blockbuster. We were living in an apartment. He saw the guys touching the little boobie of the woman, and he's like, no, this isn't a movie for you.
That's great.
Just keep looking.
Let me ask you a question. How many Fast and the Furious movies is too many? How many are they up to now? 10? Is it 10 yet?
This is 11.
Well, I mean, I was more of a Brian Connor fan,
right?
But it's just too much already. The Fast 5 was enough already.
Yeah, I think.
And now they're coming out with another one. Like Vin Diesel looks like a fat Diesel.
Yo, he made
that. What happened to you?
He made that announcement, bro. I didn't even think that was him. I seen.
I'm excited for them.
I'm
excited for them to bring back Brian, bro. I'm excited. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but he said that he's coming back. So I don't know. I don't know how that's going to be.
CG that shit.
What did you feel was the weakest car on the first Fast and the Furious? I know what my answer is. I'm just curious what it is. The weakest car you saw.
The Jetta.
I was just exactly. The Jetta is the weakest one.
The losing Jetta that took off after losing Pinks.
Yep. That Jetta was weak. That wasn't that dude from wasn't that dude from Malcolm in the Middle or something? One of those dudes. I don't know. It was one.
It's been so long since I've seen the first one. It's unbelievable, bro.
Dude, first time I saw that movie, I was like 15 as a kid in Vegas. It was crazy.
That was a long time ago, bro.
Yeah.
That movie's been out for a minute.
Favorite cartoon as a kid?
Ooh.
I love this question.
Damn, what was the name? What was that? Looney Tunes, the gunslinger that always chased Bugs Bunny.
Yosemite Sam.
He's the legend.
Yeah.
Dude, it was Bugs Bunny, and on the weekends it was Power Rangers. On Saturdays, I used to love waking up on Saturdays. Mom would make eggs. Power Rangers on the.
What was your favorite Power Ranger? What was your favorite Power Ranger?
Pink John, bro.
Pink was mine. Yeah, Pink John was mine.
Come on, man.
Yeah, the Pink John. Dog. Yeah, right.
Dude, which one was the? What was the black one?
Yellow. No, yellow. No, that was.
What was his name?
It was messed up because the black one was a black ball
and the yellow.
I saw that recently too. Yeah. Like
I think the Red Ranger ball was just like Hispanic. You know what I mean? Like I'm pretty sure that shit was pretty racist back in the day.
It might have been.
What happened to them though, man? All of them, like it was like the Power Rangers curse, man. That whole cast.
Yeah, I think the whole cast went down or whatever, or all had bad shit happening.
Yep.
They're all not around, right?
I think the Pink
Ranger is, but I think she fell apart.
One of them I saw, there was like videos flying around last year where they were begging for money on the street. They're like, "Look what
I think
happened."
that was the Green Ranger. That was the dude that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, they did throw a curveball with the Green Ranger, bro. He came out of nowhere that episode.
Yeah,
I remember that. My brother watched that shit. You know, I remember. That dude came out of nowhere.
I watched that live, man.
Everything. Like,
wasn't there a White Ranger at one time too?
Yes.
Yeah.
With gold stripes on them.
Yeah. The shit we get into.
I always felt like it was
every week.
A low-key non-robotic ripoff of Voltron, just a tiny bit. It reminded me of Voltron a little bit.
I was China doing their thing back in the day.
Candy corn, yes or no?
Yes. And I only eat the tops. And I only bite the tops off. And
why only the tops though?
Because you don't like the art.
I don't like
no
the
shit.
I don't like
that's funny, dog.
So you bite the tops off, then eat it?
I bite the white tip off, and that's it.
That's hilarious. That's the best answer we ever got for candy corn yet. He can't even say yes. He nibbles off 1/8 of it and throws the rest of it out.
Why do you? You know why? Because it sucks. That's why. You're like,
That's the subject for God, right?
yeah. It's wax. It's basically wax candle. It's like, let me taste this. All right, ketchup on eggs, yes or no?
Yes.
Kids gotta lose a point every once in a while.
Yeah, no, he gains points for that, man. That's audience is happy.
That's a given, bro. How are you gonna eat your eggs with no
hot
ketchup?
sauce, bro?
Why can't you do
Ketchup,
hot
eggs,
sauce
hash
and eggs?
browns, bacon.
Listen, you don't need any of that. You threw some goat cheese on there, some tomatoes. You're good, man. You don't need none of that. I mean, hot sauce is the way to go on eggs, though.
Yeah, you get
Cook it
all the
with
sauces.
tomatoes.
You need to have that big English breakfast, and then you'll understand, man. You know what I mean? Listen, yellow mustard or spicy mustard? Spicy brown.
Spicy brown.
Hell yeah.
I could take that one.
Yep.
Well, I don't even remember that question being in here.
Ranch, do you use it and on what?
Pizza.
I could that's the only one of the only co-signs I can get ranch though.
I mean, for the crust, yeah. I mean, yeah.
And that's the only way I'll eat ranch.
Nothing else, huh?
Nothing else.
I do
Only
blue
on a
cheese
pizza.
on my wings all day. Here we go, yo.
Yeah. Well, someone in the comment, hello, Vain Nation. I think that was Drago. So
Thrilled to see you this year at SEMA, bro.
yo, so Snickers Army mount up. So Snickers vein down or up?
Down.
Vein down. Okay. Vein down. Wow. All right. We got a vein down guy here.
I want a little bit of texture on my palate, man. You
Okay.
need something flat.
Listen, I
Unbelievable.
like it, man. Variety.
You want to hit the peanuts first. Peanuts got to touch the palates first.
Yeah.
I don't know how y'all keep coming up with different answers every week. That's the part I don't understand.
I love it.
How every single week do y'all have a different answer for this question? It's up or down, and it's every answer in between we've got.
See that in the chat? Snickers Army assemble. We'll be Snickers Army. We'll be there at SEMA. Don't you worry about that.
You need the shirt, Godfrey.
The booth.
You need the shirt.
Y'all gotta stand.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's already happening
this summer.
I think Woodland's understood that at this point it's spiraled out of control and there's no control over Snickers Army.
There is control. I got to be that guy. Get your dirty asses away from the booth. We're not promoting that shit at the biggest event of the year. Go down there by somebody else that we don't like and stand there. That shit.
It's gonna be. He'll be surrounded. He'll be like, oh my god. So
don't ask me for pictures. Don't ask me to smile.
Like, yo, We'll
Christian had a horrible time.
We'll just.
I didn't see him.
We'll Photoshop one, and AI is doing wonderful shit. We'll Photoshop right in right on Woodland's chest.
Just send me one. I'll pop up at SEMA and just surprise Chris.
Oh, it's getting worse every week.
Loyalty or respect?
I'm going with loyalty, man. You got to be loyal to me first for me to respect you. Respect's earned, not given.
That's powerful right there.
Okay, yeah.
I think that answer.
Loyalty's big. Loyalty's big.
I feel like you kind of need them both.
I mean, in an ideal world, you want both, but this question is designed to make you have to choose.
Yeah, you're right.
But you do want both in an ideal world. I mean, usually they are related, but you know, you've ever heard the phrase like, "Listen, man, I respect you, but business is business."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if they're loyal,
that
comes before the business.
You can respect somebody for a certain aspect of who they are and what they do. That doesn't mean you're loyal to them. I just feel like as I've gotten older and remembered how to speak English, I just feel like loyalty has been one of those things for me. It's a little bit more important.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be respected by your peers, obviously, right? I mean, everybody wants to feel like they're respected or whatever. But I mean, as you get older,
the loyal ones that matter. You could be respected by 1 billion people, but all those billion people are going to be loyal to you.
That's my point. But the loyal people in your circle, I feel like, are the ones that you have the connection with that's a little bit deeper. And I guess that's kind of what my point is. I just like that.
Well, on that note, folks, we're going to skedaddle on out of here.
Let's been a great pod. Appreciate you guys stopping by.
Appreciate you coming
It's
by.
been a pleasure to have you, bro. I look forward to.
Thank you guys for having me, man. Appreciate you.
Not a
Yeah,
problem at
man.
all.
I want to see how this whole new endeavor goes and see what the deal is with you. I'm putting T-minus 12 months.
Definitely.
See if you're out the game doing autos. We'll bring
Hopefully,
you back
God
to the
willing, man.
podcast, but from cars to cars to planes to trains. What's
Chris
next?
just wants to put me to work, man. He just wants me to work under the sun.
Planes,
Touching
trains, and
hotter
automobiles.
things, bro.
Yeah, I'm just saying, man. I mean, you never know what's next. Is all I'm saying, bro.
Hey, yeah.
You never know what's
Pop a
next. God is
bomb bar
good.
in a train car next
That's
time I
fine.
go to Santa
Yo.
Barbara.
That'll travel.
Why not, man?
That'll travel well.
Be the first to crack the train if you get a request to clean like a private train. Do people have private trains out there? There's got to be someone.
I was just thinking about popping it open on like an Amtrak or something. Where
Yeah, I don't
everybody's
know if you
sitting.
could do that because I'm pretty sure
Back in the day,
railroads are
I think
owned.
back in the day, rich people used to have private trains, man.
Yeah, I think you had to contract. I think you had to like lease out that particular trip, and it was considered a private train. Listen, I've always wanted to travel, like, you know, not a whole way across the country on a train, but I'd like to go for a solid couple of days on a train, like just watching the country kind of go by, working on stuff at work.
That'd be cool if our trains were as slow as ass in this country. That would be great. It would take us 9 years to get across the country.
No, I'm saying just have Wi-Fi, connect shit like that, and just be able to look out the window, watch the country float by, and just bang through some stuff. I think.
Oh, Chris, you need to take like the Western Coastal the train. We recently took one from the Valley to Santa Barbara.
Yeah,
dude, the water was literally right up to the train car at one point, and my kids were just looking out. I mean, we got a little screwed coming back. It was like the riot times with the ice raids. They just started.
Yeah.
So the second we got to Santa Barbara with the train, we were such in awe with all the good times we were having on the train with the kids and everything. We got over there. I didn't even check my phone. That's how much of a good time we were having. Behold, Amtrak texted me right when we got off. Saying that our ride back was canceled, and this was Sunday. Kids had school on Monday. I'm not gonna request an Uber because I'm not gonna find a car seat Uber. I ended up calling and I checked my phone 4 hours after getting off, 2 hours prior to getting on. Back home. I was checking to see if everything was cool. We were having such a good time. And checked my phone.
Sure.
God bless my dad. I called him. He came, picked us up. He drove like an hour and a half to come pick us up. Drove us an hour and a half back. Saint, man. And Andy wanted to stop in Woodland Hills to buy us kebab. What a heart on that guy.
Yeah. Yo, that makes me think of something. When I used to drive Uber or Lyft, I would always be in a quandary when someone would get in a car with a kid and I have no car seat. And I'm like, what do I do here? It's raining. She's going a block away. Do I say no? Do I say yes? Like, you know, and sometimes I was like, you know, depending on where they go, I was like, yo, you got to have a car seat. I don't have a car seat. Because if I get in an accident, I'm liable, right?
That's that ass.
Yeah. So it's like, I hated that. That's the situation I hated the most because it puts you, the company didn't do anything for you. Like they put you in a bad position. They should have provided you like car seats. Really. That's what all of them should have did. And then you should have had one in the back or something like that. But you know, it was the worst situation because I'm a single guy. I'm like, what would I have a car seat for? You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Anyway, I'm not even gonna go on that. I got so many war stories for that. But anyway, yeah, thinking it's a damn taxi, right? But yeah, that's it, guys. Great show. Tell them where to find you. You know, they can see your stuff there on social media, Eric.
We're at flexwash_LA on Instagram. We didn't even touch base on that, man, but I'm only word of mouth. I'm not on Yelp. I'm not on Google. I was just kind of surprised we didn't even touch base on that.
Wow.
Yeah. Is that because is that within the community or just your clients love you that much? They're just telling you one by one?
It's just word of mouth. Well, I go detail one car from word of mouth. He likes it. They like it. Who did your car? Who did your car? I mean, on top of that, I see how my dad's working on his mechanic shop. Yelp's charging him $450 a month, and he's not even that busy yet. I mean, for $450 a month on advertisements on Yelp, you guys should be having the doors filled.
I think Yelp's overrated, in my opinion. I know some people might disagree with me, but I work in the tech world during the day, and I think Yelp's overrated.
The funny part is they're calling, trying to upsell you more. Like, what are you trying to get out of this guy? $1,000 a month? What are you guys offering?
I hear that all the time. Yeah, I mean,
I don't want those phone calls. I don't want those headaches. I don't want the reviews. Quite frankly, I don't care about the reviews. I love my clients. They love me. I put time and effort into everything. Everybody knows how I work.
Like,
whether it's word of mouth or they've physically seen it.
the Google landing page is just as good in my opinion. Like, and you don't have to pay for that.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
why the hell? I don't even know how Yelp still exists because of that. You know,
That's what I was
because,
gonna say.
yeah, like because
They're pretty
and-
much not relevant as man.
yeah,
Because
but,
they're
like,
suckering in the old school business owners. Like our parents migrated here. They don't know better. My dad doesn't know better. He's thinking this is the way of advertising. He's thinking what they're selling him the dream, and they're not doing anything, let alone putting him on top of the searches. Like when I search mechanic in North Hollywood, it's not even popping up on the top 10.
Yeah, and they don't own that. They got to do that through Google.
We got a connection for you on SEO, so we'll work that out.
Yeah,
man looked up.
Yeah. Look at that. Eddie just coming in there at the end of the show, and we're running late. Yeah, that's the EC. Good evening, everyone. At 10:30. Damn, Eddie, what's up?
Yep, popping in saying what's up, real fast. EC, good to see that boy been working, man.
He's lucky we got an extended cut. He wouldn't have made it.
Yeah, true that. Putting that overtime in, Godfrey. You know the deal.
Hell yeah,
getting funky with him. Eric, we love you, bro. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for your support for the brand, man. We're really happy to have you on the pod. Obviously, be the first, probably another appearance at some point here as you continue to grow and get your feet wet in this aviation market or whatever. So
definitely, man. Thank you guys so much. I owe you guys a lot, man. Seriously. Thank you, Chris.
Absolutely, brother.
Day one,
sure,
bro.
man.
Appreciate you.
Godfrey.
Absolutely. Thank you
Stay
so
fresh,
much, man.
everybody.
Appreciate you guys.
Peace, y'all.